Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our event this morning. Um, let's get started.
Welcome to the Monday Motivation with Eric and Friends podcast with your host, Eric F. King, featuring world-class speakers, coaches, and consultants. Join us every Monday as we dive into empowering conversations that motivate, inspire, and educate entrepreneurs. Start your week with valuable insights that help you not just survive, thrive. This is your go-to podcast to start your week strong and live your best life. Let's make Mondays the fuel for your success journey.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Motivational Monday. My name is Eric F. King, and we are so excited to be here once again. We are here every Monday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. I have here along with me and Leah Garcia, and we are excited to jump into this topic today. All right, today we're going to talk about how to develop a winning attitude in your business and your life. Okay. Well, winning mindset, well, it's all the same. Winning mindset, attitude, it's all the same. I've been in business for over 20 years, 25 years. Not that may not date myself too much. 25 years. And let me tell you something. The most important thing when you are building a business is to have the right mindset. And let me tell you why. Like I can fly in the most successful people in the world, like let's say Tony Robbins, Oprah Winfrey, and I can have them hang out with you for a whole week and teach you everything they know about building businesses. But when they leave, if you don't have the right mindset and you don't believe in yourself, it's not gonna work. You're gonna have a failing business, right? So mindset is crucial to success in business, and we're gonna dive into. Definitely let us know if you're here. Let us know in the chat. Just say hi from wherever you are, so we can shout you out. All right. All right, beautiful soul. Thank you, the Urban Gypsy. Appreciate you. Yes. All right. So we're going to get started. I'm going to get started by introducing our first guest speaker, who is speaking out of California, where it is 4:04 in the morning. And she is here with you to share some great nuggets that can help you take the business to a whole new level. She's extremely successful. She is a financial strategist. A lot of people, if you come to these calls, you know her. And she helps with things money, right? You want to make money, you want to invest money, whatever you want to do with money. Leah Garcia is the person to talk to. So, also, she is a black belt, a third degree black belt in karate. Why is that important? Because to get to that level, you have to have a lot of drive, a lot of ambition. You have to be able to go through obstacles. You have to have the right mindset, right? And that's why she's here today. So, without further ado, let's bring up Leah Garcia. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Erica, King of Collaboration. I absolutely love this topic, and you are so right. In order to get a black belt, in order to achieve anything big, it takes a great attitude. You got to have structure. You got to be willing to do it anyway, right? When things get ugly, when things get tough, and that's how you really find out where the champions are. I'm going to give you 3 golden nuggets on how you can have a winning mind shift. I'm going to call it a mind shift, not just in your business, but in your life, because really there's no such thing as having work life and then having a work the personal life over here. It all goes together. So people think winning is about money, but I've met people with money who are still losing at life. And I believe people with nothing when they were already winning because of how they think. Let's be clear. Wealth is not a number, it's a way of thinking. And if your mindset is off, I'm going to call it a mind shift. If it's off, you can make money and still lose and repeat that cycle for the rest of your life and leave a disaster. Some people don't have money problems, they've got a decision making problems. And the same mindset that builds a business is the same mindset that builds a family, builds a legacy. and builds a life that you actually enjoy. Because if you can't manage your thoughts, you won't manage your money and definitely will not manage success when it shows up. So I'm going to give you 3 golden nuggets. I'm going to call this the wealth code. The wealth code. Number 1, it's about your identity. You don't get wealth, you grow into it. This applies to life first because that's how you show up as a parent, as a partner, as a leader. It's all driven by identity. In business, people ask, how do I make more money? But in life, the real question is, who do I to become to handle more responsibility, more income, and more impact? Because that's what it's about, is having the impact. Because if your identity doesn't match your next level, you will sabotage it. Some people want to have 6 figures income with a 3-figure mindset. That's an emotional overdraft. Number 2, your life moves at the speed of your decision. This is so big. This is why I say money loves speed. You got to be able to be clear and make quick decisions. In business, clarity creates income. In life, certainty creates peace. You ever notice how some people who struggle are the most in hesitation? They can't make any decisions. They're overthinking their relationships. They're overthinking opportunities. They're overthinking everything. Indecision is expensive and it costs your bank account and it costs your life. When you move faster, you learn faster. And when you learn faster, you win faster. Some people pray for an opportunity and then they ghost it when it shows up. You got to show up for yourself. Number 3, your life is perfectly designed for your results you have. This is where everything comes together, life and money. Your finances are chaotic. You better check your system. If your time is chaotic, check your system. If your stress is high, check your system. Because your life is not random, it's a design. And most people are trying to fix their life with motivation. But champions, they design environments where their winning is automatic. Some people don't need more motivation. They need fewer distractions. I'm telling you, those distractions are so costly. Let me slow it down for you for a second. A winning mindset in business might make your money, but a winning mindset in life, that determines the quality of your relationships, the example you set for your family, and the legacy. I call it the dynasty you live behind. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about what you earn, it's about what you build and who it impacts after you're gone. And that's what I do, right? That's what I do as a dynasty builder. I want you to build freedom, not stress. Your identity sets a ceiling for your decisions, and your decisions set the pace, and your systems determine the outcome. And here's a quote that doesn't get talked about enough, but we do not rise to the level of our expectations. We fall to the level of our training. And I'm going to say we fall to the level of our stinking thinking. So the real question is, what are you training yourself to tolerate? And what are you training yourself to become? So that's my thought. I'm excited to hear from the rest of my incredible speakers. And with that, I hand it back to you, Mr. Eric.
All right. Thank you so much, Queen Leah. That was incredible. What a way to start the day. I mean, that was enough right there to go out and just crush it for the whole week. You know what I mean? We already gave them incredible value in 10 minutes. So if you like that, folks, stick around because you got 50 more minutes with us. All right. So we are going to go now. By the way, if you're here with us, we want to see who you are. We want to hear from you. So put something in the chat, whether you're on LinkedIn or YouTube, just say hi from, California, wherever you are in the world. All right. We want to hear from you. We see Carl there. Good to see you, Carl. Good to see you. Is this Weimar Kumson? Miss Kumson, welcome. Thank you all for being here. I know there are a lot of people, but you just haven't put your information in there. So we want to want to shout you out. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to go from California all the way to Nigeria and West Africa to hear from our next speaker. Talk about mindset. This guy's an expert on this, right? He helps people all over the world to change their mindset and have incredible success. One of the best in the world at what he does. So I'm not going to steal his thunder because he's going to tell you exactly what he does. He's known as Mr. Positive Energy. Zion Anogru, the floor is yours.
For me, it's always a
We
privilege.
can't get. There you go. There you go.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric F. King, Queen Leah, and Mr. Eni. It's always a privilege to be able to come on this stage and sit with great minds like you. And today's conversation is another powerful one to kickstart our week and live our best life. Developing a winning mindset. It simply means if you want to win both in life and in business, it is dependent on your mindset. So there is no two ways about it. If you truly want to win in life and in business, it's built on the kind of mindset that you've nurtured over time. For me, I always say this: your mindset equals your life set. When your mind is set, your life is set. And that's why it's very important to pay keen attention to your mind. Garbage in, garbage out. Rubbish in, rubbish out. So the things you feed your mind, it's very, very important. You cannot outgrow your mindset. You cannot succeed above your mindset. Your level of success is depend on the level of your mindset. So that's why we are bringing this conversation for us. So let us know that investing in your mind, it's not negotiable. It's not something you have to think about. It's something you have to intentionally nurture in every day of your life. And then, how can you develop this mindset? Developing this mindset is a choice. It's a choice you have to make. It's a choice to say, you know what? I want to invest in my mindset. I want to grow. I want to become a better person. I want to be successful. It's not a wish. You don't wish this mindset and no, you have to make a decision to say, my mindset has to change. My mindset has to grow. My mindset has to, be rebranded. So make a choice today. You being successful in business and in life depends on your mindset that you have intentionally decided to invest in. Do not leave it by chance. Greatness and success does not happen by chance. They happen based on intentional decisions that you have taken. That's why you have to make a choice today to invest on your mind and to train your mind. Secondly, one way to develop a winning mindset is to positioning yourself for growth through reading. You have to study to show yourself approved. If you learn more, you know more. If you learn more, you earn more. So the ability for you to study, read materials, go for seminars, go for events, to learn people speak. Event like this, it's a practical example where you can go to see people, to hear people talk about these things that you can actually resonate with. Don't say, "Oh, I'm too busy for that." "Oh, I know more than them." No, you can actually learn so much because as we are all seated here, each and every one of us, we have our own unique, different experience when it comes to life. And so you can actually learn from us. So position yourself to learn more. Get materials, study books, attend events, and I tell you, when you begin to learn more, you see that your mindset begins to change. Thirdly, surround yourself with the kind of people that is already reflecting the mindset of success that you want to attain. I will say that again. Surround yourself with people that is already reflecting the mindset of success that you want to attain. It doesn't matter the kind of success you want, right? There are people who are already there. There are people who are already in the journey. There are people who are already scaling up. So what do? You study them, you watch them, you look at what they do. And by surrounding yourself with them, I tell you, it rub off on you. Iron sharpening iron. The kind of people you surround yourself with will either shape your life or break your life. And my mentor will always say, your association determines your destination. If your destination is success in business and in life, then you have to associate with the people that reflect that same mindset that brings you to that destination. And lastly, I will end with this. When we talk about a winning mindset, it's not just a mindset, it's a mindset that wins. There are different kind of mindset. Not all mindset wins. Not all mindset wins. but we are very specific about the kind of mindset we are talking about. A mindset that wins. And a mindset that wins is a positive mindset, a mindset of optimism, a mindset that sees the solution in the midst of the problem, in the midst of the challenge. When we're talking about a mindset that wins, it simply means you recognize that there will be challenges. You recognize there will be difficult times. You recognize there will be seasons where business might not be going the way you want it to go. But it is not over until the win. And that's why a positive mindset is very, very important. A mindset that sees the challenges, notice the challenges, but is not overwhelmed by the challenge. Instead, we are focusing on the solution. What's the way forward? What can we do? What the next move? How can we improve? How can we be better? It's very, very important. A positive mindset will build beliefs in you. It will build confidence in you. The confidence you need to pursue your dream, the confidence you need to pursue your business, to pursue life itself, it builds confidence in you. It builds assurance in you. It lets you know that there is no dream too big for you not to achieve. There is no vision too big for you not to achieve. But as long as you can think it, it simply means you have the capacity, you have the ability to make it come to pass. And that's why you will always hear me say, when you are positive, you are possible. And in positivity, there's always endless possibilities for you. So thank you so much, everyone. I'll give my back to you, Mr. Eric.
All right, all right, all right. Thank you so much. That was incredible from Mr. Positivity himself. Thank you so much for sharing that incredible wisdom. All right, so we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. And I would like for you guys to put in your questions. So if you have any questions for me or my panel, put it in the chat, but just use the start with the word question, and then put the question there. Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So now we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going to our next speaker. So we're going from Nigeria all the way to London, England, to hear from this chap. Yeah, they call them chaps over there. You call them chaps. We're gonna hear from this chap, all right? And the guy has an accent that you'll realize, yeah, he's calling in from Europe for sure. This guy makes you famous online. He makes you famous online. He helped me out on LinkedIn, where I went from 2,000 followers to 14,000 followers. And not only do I have a lot more followers, but they know me, right, because of my events. Right. So he helps you do that, put together events, write books, all the kind of things you need to get the word out there about your business. So I'm not going to steal his thunder. I'm going to let him go now. Any song, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Always appreciate your kind words, Mr. Eric. Always good to start my week, with that. And wasn't endorsement? Positive talk about who I and what I do and how I help, right? That's the way I take it. Thank you so much. My friends, this is another topic that is transformative. That's what I would use for it, right? I used to think, dream, wish, hope. These are all things we do, right? We want things to change. We want to create a life for us and maybe for our loved ones too. We want to build wealth, as Queen Leah said, right? And we think we can just wish it into being. If I think positively, if I think in the right way, the wealth will come to me. Everything will come to me. Yeah. No, sorry, it's not going to happen, right? We need to have a growth mindset. And that means something very specific. And I say, thinking alone wouldn't do it. Yes, there is that saying, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're probably right. See, that's at the heart of the conversation today, really. So a winning mindset is built on the foundations of knowing that you can. No, I didn't say belief. I didn't say wish. I didn't say hope. I said knowing that you can and you will. Queen Leah mentioned many of the steps. I don't want to necessarily go through all of them, but I will say to you, the biggest thing in having a growth mindset, in having a winning mindset, is trusting yourself. Trusting yourself to be the person who does that thing. You know, there's no point thinking that this growth mindset thing applies to everything in life. Like all things we discuss in this room, right? You know, you have to have a specific goal, a specific area, a specific mission that you want to win at. You know, you can't win at everything. You know, let's say, yes, I'd love to run a marathon. I can't. I won't. I refuse. That's why I can't. If I trained for it, I'm sure I could, but I refuse. My wife runs marathons. My son runs marathons. I don't. See, that's the way mindset tends to work, right? You know, it's what you tell yourself you can, and what you tell yourself you can't do. But as I say, my friends, talking to learn is not going to do it. You know, the only way you're going to believe in yourself and truly trust yourself to do it is to start taking action. Do the right things, do the right behaviors, right? A lot of people think, no, I'm going to start today. I'm going to go from 0 to 100. You're not. All things in life requires taking the right steps. I think Mrs. Zion said it, you know, you have to design the steps to get there. What action do you need to take today? You know, I want to write a book. Yes. Okay, great. Amazing. Right. You know, when are you going to sit down to actually plan the book? When are you going to make time to actually write the content? You know, when are you going to think about the different options? I'm saying these are all tasks in the process. You got to do all these boring things. And then writing the book is going to take you a long time. It's not going to take you a day. It's not going to take you a week. It's going to take you maybe a year. Some people take 25 years, right? I'm saying you have to actually put the steps in to actually do the work. So the more you do the steps, the more you tell your mind, I trust myself to do this. Even more importantly, the more your mind says to you, oh, you're the person who writes books. You're the person who does this thing because you do this thing every day, right? You know, it would trust us to do it. You know, if you don't follow the steps, nothing's going to happen. You keep wishing, keep dreaming, you know, it's not going to happen. But once you start following the steps and trying to become that person, the way I tell my son, for example, is, look, you want to be a doctor? Excellent. You're going to have to think like a doctor. You're going to have to walk like a doctor. You're going to have to talk like a doctor. And you're going to have to do what doctors do. Guess what happens when you do all that? You're going to become a doctor. Strange that, right? That's how the word really works. Don't be wishing, be taking the right action, be thinking and doing what the person who does what you want to do does. That's how you get a winning mindset. And your mind automatically believes you're that person, right? I'll leave it there, Eric. There's much more to say, but I'll let you add your genius to the conversation, my friend.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Wow, that was incredible, folks. And, you know, the first 25 minutes, we've given you all so much value. And I'm going to share some information with you right now that can change your life. Okay. So if you thought about dropping off the call, this is not the time. Because I'm going to give you something that you're like, wow. Okay. So here's the thing. As I speak right now, my video is I don't like you can't see me, like you can see my face, but I think it's frozen, right? And the reason why I bring that up is because a lot of people in life, when something goes wrong, things start to fall apart for them. They're like, oh no, maybe it's not meant to be. Oh, I'm not good at this. Oh, they start all these things come into their mind, and it impacts their business and their life. It doesn't matter to me that I'm frozen, because I still have a message that you're going to hear. And the message is going to change your life, whether I'm frozen or not, right? So you have to understand that life happens. No matter what business you're in, life happens. You're gonna come across obstacles in your life. Don't pray for less problems. Pray for more skills. The problems will come. Right? Don't pray for less challenges. Pray for more wisdom. The challenges will come. And if you don't have wisdom, you'll fall apart. Look, challenges are good. And guess what? The bigger the challenge you're able to face, the more money you'll make and the better the life you'll live. So I want you today to realize that it's not just you. People say, well, Eric, you don't understand my story. It doesn't matter. People have worse stories and they made it. Okay. Well, you don't understand. I have 4 kids. Well, guess what? Some people have 6 kids. Some people, I had a guy speak on my stage 2 months ago. He had 9 kids. Right. So look, my point is, you have to build a mindset where it doesn't matter all those things that you worry about, right? It doesn't matter. So many years ago, I was a sales manager for an opera company. Some of you, if you don't know opera is where they sing on the stage, and they wear these beautiful costumes, and they just they sing real loud and all that stuff. And I didn't know anything about the opera. I'd never been to the opera before. But then I went in for the interview and they said, well, you've never been to an opera. I said, it doesn't matter. I said, it doesn't matter. I said, I can double your sales, no doubt, in my mind. They're like, really? Because of my confidence, he hired me. And I more than tripled their sales in 2 months. More than tripled. Why is that? Because I believed. It didn't matter what the circumstance was, right? First thing I did, people come in and I'm like, how you doing? I'm all right. People come in, how you doing? I'm hanging on. What? So I created a policy where you have to say, I'm having a great day. This is going to be a great day. People will buy from me. People need what I have. Those are the kind of things I want to hear people say. And I changed their whole mindset. And there were people that weren't selling, started selling like crazy because of the change of mindset. I didn't say strategy. I said mindset, right? So that's what I want you to do, folks. From today, I want you to change your mindset. It doesn't matter what happens in the world. People say, well, Eric, don't you watch the news? The world is falling apart. No, it's not. It's going to be here 100 years from now. Don't worry about it. There have been wars before. There have been recession before. Trust me. Right. But you gotta focus on building your own mindset and not letting things just distract you from your success. Okay. I'm going to say this too. You must have self-confidence and self-motivation. Don't wait for people to motivate you. Like I don't wake up in the morning hoping someone knocks on the door to motivate me. I motivate myself every day I wake up. Coming to events like this will help you, right? Show up on Monday, you're going to get this. You're going to get this motivation. And then take action. Like Annie said, you got to believe in, but you got to take action. Okay. So that's what I want to share with my time. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much, Annie, for the clap and Zion. And I know Leah's clapping too. She's always the first to clap. Appreciate you. I just want to give value this morning. So let's do this. I'm going to share with you a little bit about what I'm doing and how I help people. And then I'll go around the room for everybody else. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Eric F. King, and I'm the founder of studiospeaking.com, which is the #1 stage in the world for speakers, coaches, and authors to share their expertise and monetize their message. So if you're like, well, I never heard of you. Well, you're hearing today. Today's your lucky day. All right. Go to studiospeaking.com, click on the link and watch the 4-minute video. It will tell you everything about what we do and how we are changing lives. I think we have like 35 testimonials on our page. We literally have about 50, but my tech person said I can't put them all there because it will slow down my website. I'm like, okay. But we have like, I don't know, 30 or something, right? So what do we do? If you're a speaker, coach, or author, we put you on our stage and we promote you to the world, right? You're able to speak to on our stage live. It's in North Carolina, so you have to fly in. So if you're in Nigeria right now saying, I want to jump on a Zoom, no, you got to jump on a plane. You got to jump on a plane, right? So you're in the studio and then you're speaking to an audience on Zoom. Okay, we only accept people that have an expertise in a certain area that have already helped people because we give you an award for your past accomplishments. Okay, right? You'll get all the pictures, the videos, and all of that. And then you'll get to join our incredible high-level network and collaboration group of other speakers, coaches, and authors. And there's a lot more that you get. So if you're interested in learning more, go to the site, click on the link, watch the video, and book a call if it's for you. If it's not for you, that's perfectly okay. It's not for everybody. Not everything is for everybody. Okay. Now, if you do want to come to our events for free just to see, we have one coming up April 20th, and you're going to start seeing promotions for that on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere. All right. My team puts it everywhere. We're not on Twitter, so don't look for me on Twitter. Got it out there, but I'm everywhere else. All right. So that's coming up. Okay. We are looking to change lives. We're looking to change lives, whether you pay to get on my stage, whether you come for free to watch, it doesn't matter. Everybody connected to my events, life will change. All right. That's my belief. All right. So that's what I do. Now I'm going to go around the room. I want everybody else to share what you do and how you serve people. Look, I talk to probably about 7, 8 speakers, coaches, and authors every day. And I only showcase the best of them. So if you're listening to someone on this call right now, you know they're one of the best in what they do. So I want you to listen attentively. All right, so we're going to go to Queen Leah first, and then we'll go around the room to Zion and Annie. Queen Leah, the floor is yours.
Absolutely. And I did clap for you, Eric, and I put a bunch of comments also in the chat. I don't know if they're showing up, but that was fire. And yes, my name is Leah Garcia, and I'm the Dynasty Builder. And sometimes people think, you know what, Leah, I don't have a bunch of money. I'm not wealthy, so I probably can't use your services. But here's the thing. You absolutely need my services, because just because we were not born rich, listen, that's not our fault. But we cannot die broke, right? We got to flip the script and create that family dynasty. And I invite you to download my free tools. Visit my website. It's more like an interactive experience, and you can download my free ebook, The Wall of Wealth, and that's where you can quickly identify the things that are missing in your financial strategy. And I can't wait to hear what Zion is going to drop on to us, because I know Mr. Positivity is doing everything all across the globe. What do you got going on, Zion?
All about positivity and spreading it to every corner of the earth, one person at a time. So I work with entrepreneurs, business owners, who is looking to grow their mindset through positivity. Because I tell you, mindset is key, as we have stressed earlier. So I coach and I mentor people on positivity. So you're an entrepreneur, you are going through a season in your life, you need a coach and a mentor to help you stay positive at all times. Because I tell you, when you stay positive, you stay positive. So you need someone like that to help you stay positive, to stay possible. Do well to reach out to me. And I also help host online events. So anyone out there, you want to amplify your voice, you want to get seen or heard, and you want to make more impact by showing up on stages like this. Let's spread more positivity together. I'm always active on LinkedIn, Zion in the only one you can see on LinkedIn right now. Reach out to me, and I tell you, it can only get better, and so much possibilities are with us. Mr. Eni, what do you have to tell us?
I've got to unmute. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Look, my mission today is my masterclass tomorrow. I guess the mission is to transform people's lives by giving people real tools that they can use to move beyond thinking and actually doing and actually seeing the results. So masterclass tomorrow. I put a link in the chat. It probably doesn't come up yet, Eric. What can I say, right? It will do eventually. So that's the event page. So we want to teach people how to create the business and the revenue that they want. It's called Your First 10K Month in Business. You get the idea, right? We're going to show you the steps to make thousands a month by designing the right offers, by attracting the right customers and learning how to convert them. It's all of that and more. So do join us. But you have to buy your ticket. It's not free. So join us, and will help you to build a business that you want, that does what you want, right? Yeah. Connect with me on LinkedIn if you want to have a conversation. If anything's unclear, and then let's go from there.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much. And like you said, folks, it's not free. Some of you have been stuck for many years because you're only looking for free. So let me help you get unstuck this year. You got to pay for value that will help you make money. Okay. I know this is something a lot of people don't want to hear, but it's the truth. You can't just watch free YouTube videos for the rest of your life and want to level up in your business. It's not going to work, because the people that are putting those free YouTube videos, they're giving value, yeah, but they're not telling you exactly what you need to do to get there. And that's what Annie does. I paid him a lot of money to help me, and it's invaluable. I can't even tell you how many times over I've made my money, right? So yeah, and what he charges is minimal. So if you're serious about it, like some people aren't serious. Like some people just they have their business is like a hobby, right? It's just something to do on the side. But if you're actually serious about making money, then you pay for it. Yeah, I noticed one thing. All the people here, me and my other speakers, we have something in common. We all help you create impact and make money. Create impact and make money, right? That's important, right? Some people say, some people don't want to talk about money. Like, Eric, why do you talk about money so much? Well, because we need money so much. right. So if you don't need any money, then don't come on the call. Don't come on the call if you don't need any money, right? But most of us actually need it for our lives and our lifestyle and our family, right? And a lot of times the people that don't want to hear about it are the people that feel that they can't make it and they want to stay in that position for the rest of their life, right? Don't hope a rich uncle comes around to help you out. You become the rich uncle. All right? You become the rich uncle. All right. I never had a rich uncle. I wish I did. I'm the firstborn, so nobody above me could help me. I was the guy. I had to do it, right? I had a sign on my wall. I said, "You're the one." I had to tell myself every day, Eric, "You're the one." All right, so let's keep going. So we have some incredible questions. If you haven't put your question up yet, do so. But I'm gonna start with this question. I love this question right here by Coral from across the pond, and she says, "How do you manage self-doubt, especially when stepping into bigger opportunities?" That is an incredible question, which begs an incredible answer, and we're gonna get that starting from Ms. Leah Garcia, and we're going to go around the room.
Fantastic question. And Annie kind of alluded to this. You have to believe you are and act as if before you ever receive it. If you want to be a doctor, you got to do what doctors do. You got to get a white coat. You got to study the pharmacy. I don't know what doctors do, but all the things that doctors do. You can't wait until someone dubs you or crowns you a doctor. It will not happen. And because people get doubt when they don't see themselves as that and when they can't trust themselves. And this is what I mean. How are you showing up for yourself? Are you showing up as if you're receiving those opportunities? Or are you sleeping in, hitting the snooze button? Are you not keeping the word to yourself? People have a lot of doubt when they break the promises that they make to themselves. What do you say, Zion? What's the goal you have for us?
Man, very profound, Leah and Cora. That was a powerful question. For me, one thing I will tell you is this: expect bigger opportunities. I cannot stress this enough. You must expect bigger opportunities. What you don't expect, you are not entitled to receive. So expectation is key. Always see yourself as I'm positioned for bigger opportunity. A lot of people, the reason why they have self-doubt is this. They don't expect big opportunities. The big big opportunities just happen to them by chance. Do not allow the big opportunity happen to you by chance. Prepare and expect it. Then secondly, affirm yourself every day. One thing for me I've used to be able to overcome self-doubt is affirmation. I'm good enough. I'm ready. I have all it takes to get there. I have all the resources. I know what I'm doing. I believe in myself. So every day, continue to affirm yourself. When you affirm yourself, it changes your mindset totally. I'm looking forward to hear what Mr. Eni has to say concerning this. I know he has a lot to say. Mr. Eni, do you want to say?
So well said, well said. Great advice from both of you. Look, self-doubt. Oh, it's essentially fear, right? You're essentially afraid to try to do. For me, the best way to get over self-doubt is by giving your mind evidence to say, I trust me. I know what it takes. I'm willing to do what it takes. And that comes from doing. The more you do, the more your mind will believe that you are that person who does that thing, right? A person who can be disciplined, person who can show up. I would also say, even if you doubt yourself, create a process, a system. Mr. Z mentioned meditation and how you start your day, basically. Start your day, with with restating your affirmations. You are the person who does that thing. Start your day by restating your goals that you want to be working towards. Start your day by, designing a process, a step. What's the steps you're going to take today? The more you take those steps, the more your brain says, "Yeah, no, we're getting there. This is easy. Cool. This is so easy." But you have to do the thing the opportunities thing. If you've done it once, you can do it again, right? It might just mean tweaking a bit, but don't be scared. Don't be scared of bigger chances. Some people say, just be happy where you are. No. God's giving you gifts, right? So that's the last part I'm going to leave you with. God's giving you gifts. There's a divine power within you. Learn to build on that. That's why you're doing what you're doing. Opportunities don't come to everyone. Opportunities come to you because you're ready. God said that you can. Go on, Eric. Sorry.
Thank you. Awesome. That's incredible. And that's right. You got to do new things. Don't just sit where you are, obviously. So here's what I would say about bigger opportunities. One thing that I have done all my life is I've associated myself with people that are doing what I want to do, right? Before I wrote a book, I didn't know how to write books. So I hired a coach that taught me how to write a book. And then I wrote a bestseller, right? Before I learned how to sell, I followed a guy that was, where he was selling copiers, and I just followed him around and learn from him, right? So I got an environment where people were selling, right? Before I did my first video online, I hired a lady. Well, I didn't actually hire her. She actually taught me how to do videos online. She's a Nigerian lady in New York, Ayori. She taught me how to do it. I was fearful. And she said, Eric, you can do it. You can do it. She believed in me, even though I didn't want to do the video. Now I have 1,000 videos online, right? And now I'm helping other people to do videos, right? So my point is this: get around people that have your answers. Don't get around people that are going to discourage you and say, well, why do you need to do that? Well, just be happy with where you are, because those people want you to stay where you are because they don't want you to outshine them. Okay, so you go. I always say that if your dad makes $50,000 a year and you want to make $500,000 a year, you can't get advice from your dad about making $500,000 a year. You can love him, but you need to go find somebody else that's made it, learn how to make the money, and then come and bless your dad. That's how it works. Okay. All right. So we're going to go to the next question. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate that. I like that applause. All right. So we're going to go to this next question. And this is an incredible question. From your experience, what's one limiting belief that you had to break to reach the next level in your business or your life? What's one limiting belief that you had? And we've all had them. We've all had them. So I'm happy that she asked this question. So we're going to go out to Leah Garcia to get us started.
Yeah, great question, Coral. And this is one that I hear a lot of people is that they believe they have to work hard to make money. And I'm not saying you don't have to work hard. What I'm saying is some people think they have to work from dawn till dusk, every weekend, every night. They can't sleep. I know sleep is for the weekend. You're right. I mean, I don't sleep a lot, but it's not because I'm working 24/7. Like you might think I'm working 24/7. I take a lot of time off. I really, really do. I work a half a day on Wednesdays, like I work a half a day on Fridays. But you know what? It is a focus, right? So the limiting belief is you have to work hard for money. You need to work focused to build wealth. And that focus time might be 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 hours a day. So I don't know. What do you say, Zan?
Yes, spot on here. So one experience I had was thinking that my background determines my future. Thinking because I'm from a certain nation, a certain continent, I cannot do well. But I had to overcome that. And I had to learn that my greatness is not determined by my background. It's not determined by the country I am. It's determined by who I choose to be. So for some people right now, you might be thinking, oh, the reason why you're not doing well or you're not growing, you're not improving is because of your background, is because of your location, is because of the things that is currently going on around in your economy right now. In where you are, there are people who are striving, there are people who are making it, there are people who are growing. So the limiting belief of it's the country I'm from, it's my background, is something I had to overcome. And from the moment I overcame that, it has only gone upward. So for me, that's my experience, and I'm looking forward to hear what Mr. Eli has to say.
I'm trying to mull over which one to pick. Okay. So there was a time I thought just more effort. No sleep, more effort, more hard work. That's the answer. No, I know I'm wrong. I was wrong, right? There's a lot more to doing what we do than brute force. I think your mindset, there's a learning how we think and having that positivity in our mind, having that growth mindset. It makes all the difference. And I say again, look, it's easy to think it's what happens to us that becomes of us. No, it's what we think, it's what we do, and it's what we truly believe. So you get all those things to work, and even get your spiritual side working. If you say no, it's not. There's no spiritual side to me. Why do miracles happen to you then? Why do things suddenly happen out of the blue that you haven't done? There is a spiritual side. When you learn to tap into it, miracles happen. You'd be amazed, right?
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Absolutely. Wow, we're getting some incredible value today. That's incredible. You guys can't see me, but I'm clapping for everybody. All right. I see Dr. Kelly's here. Kelly Little, good to see you. It's been a while. Appreciate you being on. All right, so let's see. There's another question here that I want to click on. Let's see. I think it was by Coral. Let's see what that question is.
I think Dr. Kelly's, is a question to a degree.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He asked a question?
Yeah, I don't think,
Okay.
it's framed as, he hasn't put a question before it. I think is it one of the most recent ones?
Is it the one that says tell the audience?
Yeah.
Okay, tell the audience how you transformed a failure into a victory. Oh, yeah, okay. And how failing can elevate your success with a winning mindset. That is a question. Thank you. All right, so let me say it again. Tell the audience how you transformed a failure into a victory and how failing can elevate your success with a winning mindset. All right. Okay. Who wants to jump in? You want to jump in?
Yes, I love it. I would say it is really how you think about failing. I never see failure as failure. I learn or I win. right? I always win because I'm always looking for what is the lesson. I think so many times, especially entrepreneurs, when things don't go right, and by the way, nothing goes exactly the way you thought it was going to go. So instead of just looking at it as, wow, I didn't get that sale or this didn't happen, maybe that rejection was for your protection. Like you got to learn the lesson. You got to look for, what do I need to learn from this? What's the takeaway? Instead of just losing or having something not winning, right? Because we're not losers here, we're champions. You got to look at, what did I learn from this so that I can change? Sometimes people will repeat the same mistake over and over and over again because they never learn the lesson. But I know Mr. Positive Energy has a great answer to this question. I want to hear from you, Zion. What do you say, Z?
That says, when you change the way you see things, the thing you see changes. So this is very, very powerful. For me, one thing I've seen, I've experienced about a winning mindset is this. We fail it, we expect it. It comes. But one thing is, we see it as a learning curve. We see it as a growth process. We see it as something that happens just to make us become a better person. So one thing a winning mindset does for you, it changes how you see things. What will happen to people while they are crying, they are wailing? For you, you are rejoicing, you are excited. Why? Because you are seeing opportunities in what seems to look like failure, in what seems to look like a challenge. Why? Because you don't see it like that. That's why that kind of mindset is a growth mindset. A mindset that sees every opportunity as an avenue to grow, as an avenue to become a better person. So for me, that's what I have to say concerning this. I know Mr. Yeni has something to add to it.
Well said again. Look, failure is a weird word, right? You know, how can it be that we are new to something and we expect to be the best at it, to know everything about it? We can't. You know, I think when I do anything in business, if it's new especially, I expect to be the dumbest person in the room. Simple, because I need to learn. I need to get experience, right? So I embrace those moments, you know, Dr. Kelly. I really do. And I love those. I love the ability to learn, you know, and make mistakes. You know, it's crazy to think from day one, I'm going to work with the biggest brands. I'm going to transform. No, 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 no. From day one, you just have to learn from those who know better than you. And the more you spend time with those people who know more than you do, the more you can learn. You know, we're in a hurry. Don't be in that hurry. Now, give yourself time to truly reflect, and time to, you know, to to learn what you have to learn. Like reading books, Mrs. Z said earlier. You know, talking to experts. Now, let's stop looking at TikTok. TikTok is not going to teach you anything, and maybe not much anyway, right? You're not going to learn from the experts. Like, think about where you learn, and truly learn, and then apply what you learn, and give yourself the time to become an expert. Think like an apprentice versus a master craftsman. Really, it's a journey. You're not going to be there on day one. It's, you know, when you get there, it'll be worth it, right?
All right, all right. So, thank you so much. That was incredible. So as we wrap up, let me just share with you what I feel about this question. By the way, welcome, Fumi. Fumi, I see your comments from YouTube. You said when you change the way you see things, the things you see changes. Exactly. Appreciate you for being here. Hope to see you again next week. All right. So here's what my answer to this. I don't believe in failure. First of all, you got to believe in it to fail. I don't believe in failure. There's no such thing as failure. Look, when I took my driving test and I got in the car, the guy said, "Put on your seatbelt. Look back, make sure there's no cars coming." And then he said, "Okay, this is what you're gonna start here, and then you're gonna go." So I started and I started going, and then he said, "Stop." He said, "Take off your seatbelt." I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "You just failed." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You went right through the stop sign." I said, "Oh, I didn't think I was supposed to stop for this one." So I failed my first driving test. but I've been driving ever since, and I'm good, right? So here's the thing: failure doesn't mean anything. You just do it again until you get it right, right? There's no such thing as failure. I saw Tony, and we're going to wrap up now in the next few minutes. I saw Tony Robbins. Most of you know who Tony Robbins is. He's probably the number one motivational coach in the world. I saw Tony Robbins host this event. It was a studio event. And this was right after COVID. And he had speakers come into the studio and then speak to a crowd that was on big 6-foot Zooms. And I saw that and it blew me away. I said, man, my number one goal is to get on Tony's stage, to be in that studio. And I wrote it down. I put it on my computer. I wrote it. I put it on my phone. And then I called his office and I said, what do I need to do to speak at Tony Robbins' studio event? And they told me, unfortunately, Eric, he only brings up his friends. He doesn't take random people from off the street. And guess what? Some people would have said, Eric, you failed. But guess what? My God is a powerful God, because God told me, look, why are you worried about getting on this man's stage when you could create your own stage and you can change lives? And guess what? That's exactly what I'm doing today. That is my full-time business. And it emanated from what some people would call a failure. I thank God he didn't let me speak on the stage, because I would have just been happy speaking on his stage. So I hope I answered your question there. All right, so we're gonna wrap up. It's been exciting being here. Appreciate all of you. O'Brien, I see you, and we look forward to seeing all of you same time next week. By the way, if you're here live, put in #live in the comments. If you're listening on replay, put #replay and share this with at least 3 people, right? We do this for you guys out of the kindness of our hearts, the goodness of our hearts, for free. So all we ask is you share it. We post on LinkedIn, put it on Facebook, YouTube, wherever it is, wherever you can, post it so more people can see this. We appreciate all of you. It has been a plum-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege to be here with you this morning, and we'll see you next time. Make it a great day, folks. Bye-bye.
Happy Monday, champions.
Bye, everyone. Bye from me. We'll see you. Bye.